everybody, and greetings, adventurers! Welcome to another episode of Driftwood Tavern Presents, the show where Mike realizes he made everybody's cameras way too small and is fixing that now.
No, I thought you already fixed that.
So when you put it on studio mode, so you can fix things are going live, it makes a really tiny screen. And so I thought I had you guys where I thought would look good. I was wrong. That's okay. It's an easy fix. How are you folks doing today? I am joined, of course, by the amazing, wonderful, and talented Misa and Brett Norton. Say hello, folks.
Hello. How are you all doing today?
We're good. My captions are getting blocked. So, if it looks like I'm a little bit confused and disheveled, it's because up until 30 seconds ago, I wasn't having a stream tonight. We're good now, though. Everything's fine. We're all fine here.
How are you?
Franchise. Okay, cool. Captions are now unblocked.
We didn't force him to have a stream. We were planning on one, and then things got rescheduled, and things went a little haywire. And this is sort of like, we worked it out. I'm like, all right, we are going to do the stream. We'll handle it now.
Yeah, they worked it out was host. Brett and Misa going, Mike, do you want to do a stream? Me going, sure, yep, let me get that started right now. But we're all ready to go. And we've got the lead product manager and the executive producer today, which is very exciting. You folks both, of course, have worked on the game for a good long while. And you were going on the stream today to talk about our latest release, which is Narbandellen. You want to talk a little bit about that and how excited you are for it?
Sure, we can talk a little bit. So the Narbandellen is the new adventure zone that's been released alongside the module. The module is the Demon Web Pits. Just came out a couple weeks ago here now, and we're a little bit into it, and a lot of players now have unlocked all versions of the Demon Web Pits dungeon, where you get to fight against the spider god Loth. And we're also in the midst of our summer festival, which is sort of our annual big sort of summer celebration event. It's a very fun casual event with water balloon fights, things like fighting off some trolls, trying to round up chickens and cows and harvest corn. Lots of silly little fun things you can do. Great easy prizes to get. You can pick up things like various Saha balls, which can be turned in for prizes like insignias and a couple other things and whatnot. So there's a lot of different little activities that you can do within the summer event zone too. And if you're especially new to Neverwinter, it's a great way to pick up some relatively easy items for your characters, as well as all your various alts. And if you're a more dedicated player, it's come check out the Narbandellen, as it's a great, awesome new adventure zone that you can go explore. And there's some great rewards in both the zone itself as well as in the Demon Web Pits dungeon.
All right.
We also have some fun stuff in the store right now in the Wondrous Bazaar. For example, right now in the Wondrous Bazaar, the Astral Lockbox is back for a limited time, and it's got a brand new mount in it. It's got the pink silk wings, so those are kind of fun. I really like those ones. They got these. They're really gorgeous. Like they almost look like they have like a double set of wings. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep.
I have to give shout out to Spencer Mason on Facebook, who said he loves this game, but there is only snow in one part, so it should be called Okay, Maybe a Little Winter.
well, he's right. We do have some snow, so there's a tiny hint of winter in the game. That's unfortunate.
Fun fact: the city of Neverwinter was named Neverwinter. I learned this from talking with Ed Greenwood when we were working on Module 25 and doing our Jubilee anniversary. It was called Neverwinter because the warm river waters that flow through the city of Neverwinter keep it from icing over. It's actually a relatively northern city on the coast, on the Sword Coast, and in Faerun as a whole. But it doesn't ever turn winter there because of the unusually warm waters that flow through it out into the sea, and that's why it's named Neverwinter.
Neat. All right. Well, let's dive right into some gameplay here, but first I need to share my screen with y'all so y'all can see what we're talking about. There you go. Did that pop up for you?
I can see it, but I'm also getting a little echo from...
I'm not getting too much of an echo.
Oh yeah, I am too.
And I get the
I
echo.
see why. I see why. Okay. We should be okay now.
And yes, we'll work on Pinata updates. We'll see if we can update those stores.
Yeah, we try to make sure...
I'll make a note of the Pinatas.
We try to make little quality of life adjustments pretty much every year to events, and whenever we're releasing a new module, we actually have a a feature that's basically called quality of life features, where we go through and work with our UI UX teams and software and sometimes systems and content, and we go through and look for things that we can make the experience a little bit better, higher quality of life. So that's a good suggestion for that.
Yeah, love that. All right, so I am going to actually head back to Protector's Enclave because the idea of doing the summer event sounds really good, and I've never done it before. So we're going to follow this lovely little golden path.
The summer event's really fun. You should, this is absolutely the right thing to be streaming.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about the summer event while we're running over there. How did this come about in the first place?
That's an excellent question. The Summer Festival was one of the earliest events created for Neverwinter many years ago, and it just came about as the desire to create a sort of like casual, fun zone that players of all levels could go into. I think you only need to be like level 2, which I think you earn just from coming outside of the intro quest on Sleeping Dragon Bridge. And so it's just accessible to all players, whether you're new to Neverwinter or a veteran, and we just wanted to have something that wasn't quite as combat focused. That's why there is some combat, but it's heavily scaled, so players of all levels can participate. There aren't any really complicated bosses, and most of it's just kind of based on doing fun social activities like the water balloon fight and a few other things. So it's a bit of a different style of content than the typical questing, slaying, and monsters and whatnot style of adventure. Something a bit more relaxing and to a degree peaceful too. There's people. The theme of it just people hanging out, kind of having a summer fair.
I love that we have these
really
summer and winter events on our games that just are just like, why don't we take a break for a while and just have some fun?
Yeah, no, Star Trek Online also does a summer and winter event, and it's kind of been a theme. It's been something that's been carried forward through
Champions does too,
Yeah, all of Neverwinter.
It's kind of a cryptic thing.
Live products that we like to have these like relaxing, fun ones. And there's obviously a lot of people that in real life that take vacations during the summer, during the winter too. They might have a chance to play, so we try to give them a little extra content and things to do besides that. So not only we have the Narmendelian and the Demon Web Pits available to players, but you can also jump in and do the Summer Festival.
It also gives us an excuse to make all kinds of different like cool little like just cool stuff. Like the summer fashion, like the Saha ball fashion is super fun. You can dress up as one of the Saha players. One of my favorites is we started doing the rune boards, which are you can see them pretty much wherever, like right in front of you're almost there. You'll see them in the center. There's 2 rune boards floating when you get to the quest giver, and they're really fun because we get to paint. Our artists get to like put whatever they like on those. So like this year we had a Vecna board for a little bit, and so it's really cool that we get to like put the key art. One of them, I believe last year we had a one that used one of our alternate arts for one of our modules as the art on the board. So it's super cool. Like it's like literally like a surfboard or a skateboard or a snowboard where you can put like your art on it. And so that's a really fun little canvas for our artists to play
these
with.
Guys. Yeah, I love this. We have these in Stowe too, and it's very fun.
Yeah, last year we had the first, I think, rune board, and now this year we have a new rune board available for just participating in the event. And the Vecna rune board is available from the Astral Diamond store. So if you have a lot of Astral Diamonds that you're looking to sync, you can buy. Running? Yeah, it's still up. I think it's for 2 more days. I think until Thursday. So I think it runs for a week. And it's Thursday sales. But the Vecna rune board is still up. So if you have a lot of Astral Diamonds, you can pick up the Vecna rune board.
I love the names of the powers for the rune boards. Like one of the original powers, our systems team had a little bit of fun with it. They named it Radical Radiance, so it's like
heck yes.
Totally radical, man. And then this year, because the Vecna board, they named the power Wicked Lich. It's totally wicked, man. And so as a surfer girl, I grew up in Santa Cruz. I can't. The lingo is just. I hope they just keep doing surfer lingo every year for these.
That's great. All right, I'm going to run over to start the summer festival here. Nausik, over on YouTube, you are 100% correct that it does seem like I haven't played much Neverwinter, and that's because I haven't. I'm learning as we go, which is one of the points of some of these streams. Misa and Brett are going to teach me all the things I need to know.
That's
right,
the
guys?
plan. That's the plan.
Pretty easy. Summer festival's pretty easy to get into.
Mike recently joined us on the Neverwinter team, and we are super happy to have him, and he's been super awesome for us. So it's a lot of fun. But you guys have to be nice to him while he's leveling up. Come on. I'm slow and stow. You guys aren't making fun of me over there.
A little bit of
yes,
background
they are. We just don't tell you.
People
Yeah,
tuning
they
in.
are. They just hide
Mike
from me.
has been the community manager for Champions Online as well as Star Trek Online, and just recently stepped into also picking up some duties here on Neverwinter. So
Yeah.
he's now pulling triple duty here and helping all of Cryptic's live MMO games. But Neverwinter was not his primary game for a while. He played it a bit, but was focused on Champs and Stowe. But he's now picking up the reins. So
I actually
obviously he's
played
played a lot of
Neverwinter-
MMOs and a lot of Cryptic ones.
Yeah, I actually played Neverwinter for a while before I got my first job at Cryptic. A bunch of my friends one summer and I played Neverwinter pretty religiously for a couple of months, and we all had gelatinous cube mounts, and I had a guild called the Cult of the Cube. It was very fun.
That's so good.
All right, let's do Summertime Saha. It's a ball
There you go.
game.
It's time for Saha Ball.
All right, let's throw some things around. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there is a if there's any questions we got coming in. So far, not yet. We have lots of people commenting how much they're enjoying the stream, but
Well,
few
that's
comments.
good. I'm glad they are.
I see things in Twitch chat, but this comment's come up a number of times, but there is a specific reason why there is no FOV slider on consoles, and that's largely due to performance, and the performance on consoles is sort of built around the FOV. When you increase the FOV in just about any game, it's not just particular Neverwinter, you generally decrease performance in terms of frame rate. So your frames per second count goes down with different FOVs, especially wider FOVs in particular, because you're just having to render more. And so a lot of times we build various zones, boss fights, etc., with the console hardware in mind at a specific FOV. So we have to be very careful about allowing that FOV to go up, because basically you're allowing players to decrease the frame rate of their game by letting them increase the FOV. You can lower the FOV, but that makes it narrower and usually isn't that handy. But increasing the FOV is tricky, because we kind of have to plan around like whatever the slowest console is that Neverwinter supports. Right now, I think it's probably the old original PlayStation 4 and the Xbox Xbox One.
It is the original.
So we still have to support those, and so in the distant future, if we wind up being able to, with our working on things like native versions for next-gen consoles, we might be able to open up some additional options that are exclusive to those platforms. But for example, we wouldn't want players on an original PlayStation 4 to increase their FOV, because in many more intense fights, they would like potentially decrease their frame rate by 20,
It's
30,
almost like
50%.
it basically would increase the minimum spec if we allow them to do that, or allow PlayStation 4s, like the original ones, to do that, and
PlayStation and Xbox both have like the guidelines of like what FPSs we have to be hitting.
That's where I was about to go. And basically, whenever I think I talk about this relatively frequently whenever we bring up like third-party partnerships. But with Sony and PlayStation, and if we work with Nintendo as well, like any sort of third-party publisher, or that you go through them, you end up you have to go through their certification processes, and they have a bunch of guidelines that you need to make sure you're following. And if your performance falls outside of the guidelines, then you have to resolve that. And so a slider like that could cause us to fall outside of the guidelines for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 specifically. And that's where the problem is. But as we as we expand towards natives on Xbox, I can't even, it's such a silly name.
Series X,
Series X, and Series S, and PS5. As we expand there, then maybe we can make like PS5 exclusive button, or Xbox Series X exclusive slider. But
not yet.
Yeah, it's not. It's, to be fair, it's not even like on the schedule to make that right this second.
Yeah. Wanted to answer a question from Viperion VIP here. The announced Paladin improvements, we don't have a official ETA on those. They're being worked on, but we haven't announced when they're coming.
Yeah, they're being worked on.
We don't put the ETA on it, but they are in active development. To quantify, when I say they're in active development, means that we have staff assigned and actually working on those. They're scheduled, like, it may not be literally today, but we chunk out our work in roughly 3-month increments.
Oh, he was working on it literally last week. So
Paladin updates Paladin updates are in the current sort of quarterly chunk of work that we are working on. So yes, the Paladin updates are in progress.
They are soon,
in flight.
but not. They are sooner than you might think, but not as soon as you will think.
Yeah,
sooner than you might worry, but not as quickly as you might hope.
Yes. Yeah, that was
there. We
exactly
go. That's
what I was gonna go. Sooner than you might worry, but further than you might want is what I was gonna go with.
I feel like we answer this question every week, Misa, but it's your domain. So Game Killers Paz wants to know if the Wondrous Bazaar sale is coming again.
It is. So this run with the Astral Lockbox does not have a Wondrous Bazaar sale. There will be one coming. I actually literally just was looking at that schedule. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, yeah. So we actually shifted it forward a week recently. I'm not going to give you the exact date. It will show up on the calendar. But yeah, we do have a Wondrous Bazaar sale, a trade bar sale. We have guild mark stuff. We got everything coming. It's all coming. You should see it soon, I hope.
I know that the big thing that the players are asking for, they most likely want to know when a combination of the, Wondrous Bazaar sale plus the, double tumbling trade or the tumbling trade bar discount.
It's all lined up. There is a sale coming up. I'm not going to tell you exactly when. Well, you know when it is. I just told you, but I'm not going to tell everybody exactly when. But there is a sale that's lined up that has all of the things that you're looking for. It is not right this second. It'll be in the future.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's not too far out. It is not. But we literally just shuffled it and even pulled it a little forward because of the recent feedback.
If you're curious, what question comes like, how do you decide the paladin needs a rework? We kind of look at information. We look at popularity classes, viability of classes. We also look at a degree of things like bug reports, etc. And we kind of pick some stuff based on those when we know that there's either performance options or just fun factor options, etc. And so the paladin, we feel that while the class is powerful, it has some. It's not popular, and given that it fulfills vital support functions within Neverwinter as both a healer and a tank, we would like it to be more popular, and we're hoping that if we show it some love, we will help make it more popular and more fun to play. And the more tanks and healers that we have in Neverwinter, especially for group content, the shorter queue times it is for everyone.
Got it. Let's see. Lots of folks. Okay, well, while we've got you here, Brett, we get this question every week too. Lots of folks are asking if we have any intention of looking at any changes or, more specifically, buffs for the Soul Weaver Warlock class.
We are looking at some broader healing updates. We did, obviously, with the Bard Minstrel, we did a number of updates to that healer. But as we're looking at the Paladin, specifically the healing paragons of the Paladin, we're looking at healers as a whole and trying to make sure that we achieve a level of parity and ease of use between all of them. We're aware that different healers excel in slightly different areas, and to be blunt, we are aware that clerics are a little too easy, especially in 5 dungeon or 5-person content where they're sort of given the strength of some of their abilities. Specifically, Healing Word is a standout, I wouldn't say problem, but it overperforms for what it does right now compared to what Warlocks can achieve with Soulstorm and compared to what Paladins, for example, can achieve with Divine Shelter, etc. And it's likely that as we look at the Paladin healing, we're also going to be trying to take some quick looks at Warlock healing and try to achieve a little bit of a better parity. But that being said, fair warnings that Healing Word is sort of on the list because we feel that for what it does, it's a little too easy. It's too much of a do everything I need to do button, and it kind of makes the cleric class not really have any downsides. They have very strong single target healing with things like Intercession and their tap heals, and they have very strong group healing with Healing Word, especially in their daily, etc. So it's a little too much. They can kind of do everything that a healer can. They don't have some of the weaknesses that the other healers do, and that's something that we would like to look at shoring up a bit too. So we'll likely look at buffs for Warlocks and Paladins and Soul Weavers, and Oathkeeper and whatnot, but potentially some small changes in particular to Healing Word on the cleric side to make it less of a do everything button.
Now, just to be clear, because chat just started panicking, you're not planning on nerfing cleric anytime soon. You're just planning on making the other healing abilities more on par, right?
We're not the only thing that like I said, we're not looking at changing any of the cleric's abilities, but in particular, Healing Word is one of the ones we may look at in terms of combination of things like its duration as well as what it does. Because, like I said, the power of it right now exceeds that. Now, that being said, we expect to have to bring up most of the other heals, especially sort of raid-wide heals or group-wide heals, ones that allow you to heal lots of players that are very far away from you. That's a key thing for things like some of our trials, some of our dungeons where your players are all scattered about and trying to dodge mechanics, which is what we want them to do. But in particular, like Soulstorm doesn't have the ability to do that, and Vampiric Embrace is something that has a very high cost. It's not a very efficient spread out heal. So that's what hinders Soul Weavers a lot. And while Paladins have Divine Shelter, which has also a very large radius, it does not have the raw healing output in terms of just numbers, even including the shield, that you get out of Healing Word. And so that's kind of the problem. The Healing Word has a massive range, it has a massive radius, it has a very long duration, and so like I said, it kind of does all of the things that we want without any of the sort of downsides that we see with some of our other abilities. So we have to kind of figure out what we want to do there with that and make sure that we don't remove the cleric's ability to heal large groups, because we build our big boss fights around that mechanic, but we also don't just want, the one button does everything for you kind of solution, which to some degree Healing Word's close to that, which is what we're not happy about.
Does, how do I start a Saha game?
You play in a Saha match, we got a queue up for it. I mean,
okay,
I can invite you to the queue and we can see if we can get it going.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Which character are you on?
I am on, her name is Callista Angelbane, and it's M Fatum Dev 3079.
I think you are invisible.
I'm invisible?
Oh wait, no, there you go, I gotcha.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh dear. Is it time for Saha Ball?
It is time for Saha Ball.
Okay, let me switch to your instance.
I wanted to...
We don't need to. We have the queue. It's under the event queues.
Bad Splat, as you suggested, we can't really talk about stuff that's going on business-wise with the company, but I wouldn't be afraid that Cryptic is getting a lot of hits from everything that's been going on with Embracer. We've been weathering the storm pretty well so far, and I expect that to continue.
This whole time I've been talking, I didn't realize that on my dev character I hadn't completed the Enchiridion of the Volley quest yet. Hang on, I gotta go do that myself.
Okay.
I've done it on all my live characters and then realized, oh no, I'm playing on my dev character. I haven't done it on this character yet.
Game Killer Spaz, if you've got a bug with Paladins, now is the time to post that on the forums, because they're getting worked on now.
And there's going to be some additional, I'm trying to remember if we've already done the call for issues, but there's expected to be a big call out for bugs and investigations. The people working on them have been playing a lot of Paladin lately to ensure that they're sort of abreast, but there's always lots of small little issues where it's like, okay, this thing doesn't work, or this thing doesn't scale with crit the way it should, etc. And having a list of those helps a lot, since those are often very specific fiddly issues.
Cool. Let's see. Top Shotters Forever. There are giveaways today, because we had some extra codes, so we'll be giving those away as we go. I think we'll give the first one away after the Saha match.
You can give one away real quick right now while I'm doing this. Do you have the key?
Sure. Okay. Let's see. This first one we're going to do. We'll start with Twitch, because Twitch is the most active right now. I would like someone to name me all of the companions of the hall. Go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Thank you. It's probably pretty easy for these folks, but...
What shouldn't be too hard?
Depends if they know about the secret.
Oh, it's Bobby and Uni! Hi, Misa. You came with the best stuff.
Oh, yeah. I can do the dance. I can do Uni's little thing.
All right. I'm cute. Let's see. Do we have everyone...
just to be clear, I need full names.
And Misa, you need to complete the Enchiridion of the Volley quest too.
And make sure you put them all in the same comment. If you do multiple comments, I won't see it. Did I remember incorrectly? I thought Wolfgar had a last name, but maybe he doesn't. Alright, well in that case, I'm not getting a negative from the two people in stream who know this better than me, so the first person to give me full names was Angie Cat.
Yeah,
congratulations, Angie Cat. Angie Cat, make sure you send an email to ambassadorkel@gmail.com, and we will get you your code. And I saw somebody earlier asking about their headset that they should have won last stream. I did not get that email from you, so let me know. Could you send me another one, please? Kiernan, if you're talking about the list of paladin bugs, yeah, we've seen that. So tell me a little bit about Saha Ball. What are we going to be doing today?
It's sort of like a fun little mini game. It's a mix between sort of almost soccer and volleyball. You kind of run around playing. Imagine playing soccer, except you're playing with your hands like volleyball, and you're trying to bounce the ball up in the air and kind of get in the goal. Very Rocket League-esque is a way to think about it.
Nice.
I am so remarkably terrible at this game. I don't know if you really want me on your team, but
nah, it's fine.
I always want you on my team, Misa.
Yeah.
All right. Nope. Still need to have you finish the intro quest. You need to complete the Enchiridion quest, Misa.
Oh,
I completed the Enchiridion quest.
Is it you purchased the right there?
Yeah,
purchased the Enchiridion of the Volleys from the. Yeah, then you need to use it from your inventory if you have purchased it.
Well, I gotta go and do it too, Misa. So don't worry.
That's fine. That's fine. I just gotta get a flax flower.
No, you don't need to do that step. Once you've done that, you're ready to go.
Then I'm good to go. What's the problem? Everything's fine.
Where do I? The golden path led me to nowhere.
Copper ticket, number 2.
Yeah, you buy it from the guy with the copper
it's right there.
tickets.
It's on that list. Where are you going? Where are you leaving?
Because you're behind me if you're watching the stream. Well, you got to watch the shared screen I have.
Yeah, you gotta watch the shared screen.
Okay.
You're on the wrong thing.
Otherwise, you're 7 seconds behind, and you're gonna yell at me for doing something that I did 20 minutes ago.
You're right.
A dark day for the Empire.
All right. And then I gotta open the inventory and use it.
Right, hopefully we can get into a match. But it's pretty straightforward.
Oh. Okay, I used it. Alright, I have used Enkindred of the Volley. Now you should be able to start the thing.
Did you complete the quest, though? Let's see.
No, of course not. Why would he do that?
You gotta complete the quest, so you
Okay,
can...
gotta go talk to...
that step's done, yeah.
Basail. Got it.
Yeah. The word is Enchiridion.
Enchiridion?
I believe that's the pronunciation. At least that's how they say it in Adventure Time.
Makes sense.
Alright, I'm not gonna argue with Adventure Time.
There we go. We're good. Queuing us up.
All right.
There we go.
It's not gonna go well. Why are you
It's gonna go
this to me?
great. We're gonna whip up on everybody.
So once you acquire some
get our
tickets, you
butts
can
kicked.
purchase there's other moves that you can purchase, and so once you acquire all the various moves, the spike, the set, and the check, then it becomes even more fun. We've actually discussed opening all those up and just giving them to everybody because the Saha becomes a lot more fun once you have all 4 moves unlocked.
Yeah,
you can
I don't have
unlock
all
moves
I just
by
have volley. I'm gonna be screwed.
yeah, and you can unlock additional moves by simply getting tickets, which you get from the Saha ticket balls, and then purchasing them at the Copper Ticket Agent.
Nice. Yemma wants to know if it's possible to add rainbow dyes to the game. What do you think, Misa? Is it possible?
Okay, so there's 2 answers here. The answer of I really wish I had rainbow dye. I don't know if it's possible. God, I wonder.
Oh no, someone didn't accept.
Now, that was me. Oh wait, no, that wasn't me.
I'll try again. No, not our group. Some of the other players are waiting on. Someone didn't accept up top, so let's see what happens. 8, 9. All right, just one more.
Claymore 3280 wants to know if we're parsing data of like content completion and what group comps are going through it.
Yes, we constantly we constantly watch for what's being completed, which players are queuing, how long people are waiting, the completion rates, the duration it takes to complete, like all of that stuff. Yeah, we love that data. That's our favorite part. That's Brett is constantly looking at that data. That's one of his favorite reports.
With respect to the queues in particular, we monitor success, failure, and abandonment rates of those, and we have pretty accurate data, as well as how long it takes to complete them. You may have noticed that we made some changes, for example, to Many Coin's Bank Heist Skirmish in today's patch. Those were driven by the metrics that we had seen from Many Coins, and while many of us internally are pretty familiar with the dungeon and generally can complete it, it had the lowest success rate of any skirmish by a notable margin. And so we took and went and looked at it, found some bugs. Actually, some of the enemies actually weren't dealing any damage at all in Many Coins, which is a bit of a bug. But we also found that others were dealing too much. So we made a number of changes to the various enemy powers, and then overall tried to reduce the difficulty a bit to try to get the success rates more in line with the other skirmishes, because it was just a good notch below the other skirmishes, and we don't like it when we have outliers like that. There's still a couple other outliers that we want to work on. We know that Castle Ravenloft is still a little bit too low, and obviously the Infernal Citadel, following its rework, started out pretty low. Another round of changes went into the Infernal Citadel Day, which will hopefully make especially the first part a bit more easy to understand and get through, especially the whole poison and the gas spore mechanic. But we also did make changes to hopefully make the second and third boss easier, because the second boss was actually one of the biggest killers. We noticed we saw that we have a death heat map, and the second boss in Infernal Citadel was still causing a lot of issues.
Real quick, Kyle Durkee, I am sorry. Something about the YouTube chat that I was monitoring made me not see YouTube. So I apologize for that. But I will be giving... that wasn't a contest for you guys anyway. Lenny, I think somebody over there... Somebody pointed out over there that I had actually messed up, and the contest winner should have been somebody else. We're not going to give the contest away from the person who already won. We're just going to give another code to the person who should have won. So let me look up really quick who that was.
Here we go. It's going far.
That works
Might get a goal. Come on, go, go, go.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's
Is it going? Is it going? Is it going?
Lenny2620,
Yes!
please also send me an email.
Nautilus scores.
Good job, Nautilus.
Good job. We're so good.
I have no idea what these green circles mean.
That's where you're going to...
reset to.
It moves you to your position.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
To try to make a little bit of fairness, it resets your after a goal. Ooh.
No,
wow.
No.
Get out of... block it.
No.
No!
I couldn't.
Oh, we got wrecked.
All right, I will fall back to goal next time.
There are two people in the back. Defense, where were you?
I'm a forward. I keep getting teleported to the front, so I don't know what.
I'm one of the wings. We got
me
two
too.
people
I'm the
in
other
the back.
wing.
That we're supposed to
I'm the other
stop
wing.
that.
Hey, I'm one of the people in the back. I'll go back.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
There it comes. It's coming back again.
Oh, it's going to the back.
Oh, miss.
No,
really? Oh.
Where did it go?
I think we just knocked it into our own goal.
No,
It came
he
down
kicked it. No, a guy came in and got it. I need to get...
Here.
I only have one power on this character.
I know, we don't have check or spike.
I need spike.
I just need to figure out how I'm supposed to interact with this ball.
Click.
Yeah, no, I know it's
click,
click.
left
I
click.
just didn't know what... Last time I didn't know what happened. Because I thought the ball was right in front of me and I knocked it down. And
no, they got jumped. No wonder that guy's got set. Oh, he got a big advantage. Oh, no! Deflected in again. We're getting crushed now.
Oh, yeah, we're getting crushed. That guy's got better powers than us.
He's got the set. The set's too good for us.
It's okay.
Well, also your goalie sucks.
Well, also, yeah, we need our powers. It's so much easier when you get all of them.
Oh, coming back again.
Yep, I see it. There we go. I think I got it. Or someone did.
Right, I got it.
Knock it in. Oh.
No, I missed. Damn, he blocked me.
Boots Toots says you have to play the game to get powers. Is that your nice
No,
way of
go
saying
in, go in, go in.
I got it.
Hey!
I did it. I
We're
scored.
almost tied back up again.
I'm so good. I'm so good at this game.
Here we go. Okay, we're bringing it back here. This is where we start the run back. No more of this, letting this guy just crush us.
Hard Rock L1L is saying that there's a bunch of people who AFK this match. We can probably.
Well, that's
fix
unfortunate.
that.
We shouldn't do that.
What?
There we go.
Okay, so you have to be standing right on top of the ball.
Yeah, right on top of it.
Oh, I got checked. Oh, no!
Oh,
Oh, goalies, where are you?
I'm right here. I was coming to help you.
Look.
Oh no, the run back.
I can see that I have scored, and therefore I am happy with my performance.
How do you know if you scored? Actually, that doesn't show me.
Because I literally was the kick that I did that went in.
Oh man, they're too good. They're crowding the box on kickoff and deflecting my initial hits. Oh no, they got it again.
It's going to go over.
Above the goal.
It's going to go over.
Oh no, did it get stuck?
Oh,
really?
No.
I thought we fixed that.
I thought we fixed this.
Really?
Oh, poop.
No!
Really?
Oh, that's fun.
We literally had a bug in for this, and I thought we addressed it.
I thought we fixed this.
Yep. Did it not get carried forward? All right. Bug list.
I wonder if there's a link break.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I'm embarrassed. This is like the worst. This is the worst.
Yeah,
timeline.
I hate when this stuff happens on stream, but there's nothing you can do. Do we have a timer on this map that'll kick us out after a little while, or is it
5 minutes?
I'm wondering if there's.
Well, let's answer some questions.
Yeah.
You do the giveaway then. Next giveaway.
Here,
we can do another giveaway too. All right. But first of all,
penance for the ball getting stuck.
Claymore 3820 was apparently beating around the bush earlier, and now wants to be more direct. They wanted to know if we're happy with the state of Sentinels in the game. How do y'all feel about that?
They're referring to Barbarian Sentinels, which is the Barbarian tank. They are good in some ways and bad in others, and they prove to be the most challenging of our tanks to play, specifically in boss fights. The problem being is that they have, I would say, awkward routes towards generating lots of threat on a single target compared to just our other tanks. Other tanks generally have more accessible and obvious options for, hey, cool, I needed this boss to attack me. How do I do that? And the Sentinels have a much more obtuse route, and they can also just sometimes not get a whole lot of threat at this sort of thing. So that's something that we know, and we're going to be looking at hopefully in the future. There's a couple of solutions we've talked about internally to it. But I think the goal for that is to try to make them more accessible. That being all said, Barbarian Sentinels are actually better in certain areas for sustained sort of multi-target threat generation, as well as the ways that their stamina regenerates for the block, specifically with the Rage and Rally feat, actually gives them more effective absorb against a lot of targets than the other tanks sometimes get as well too. So they struggle in fights where it's like big boss just doing lots of damage to the tank and doing tank busters on the tank, but they excel a little bit better in multi-target fights where there's multiple things and they get a chance to use feats like Rage and Rally, which give them a lot of free stamina regeneration. So we like the fact that they feel a little bit different than the other two tanks, but we don't like the fact that so much of our content is just, okay, we need you to tank this big boss and we need you to use defensive options to try to help for the party. And Sentinels don't have those. Their tool set is very different, and they feel like they're missing like defensive party options, and they feel like they're missing solid ways of mitigating single target boss damage, as well as just generating lots of threat on a single target. Now, they get things rolling. Primal Fury allows them to generate tons of threat, like just obscene amounts of threat. But that takes them a while to get to that point. There's like a tipping point where they're not generating any threat, they're generating huge amounts of threat. So we may have to address that as well too. You know, they can generate absurd amounts of threat under the right circumstances, but they have a lot of usability in generating it in the first few minutes of a fight.
Brett has the best explanations.
Yeah.
So I just like let that roll.
Just so everyone's aware, I main on my live account, my non-dev account, a Barbarian Sentinel. So I'm pretty aware of that class, and I played all the other ones as well.
Can we just release your Barbarian and join me with the Eldritch horrors of Warlockhood?
To be fair, I play both Barbarian DPS and Barbarian Blade Master and Sentinel. I've completed a number of the Master Trials in both roles, so I'm pretty familiar with them as a whole. Barbarian Blade Masters are relatively...
I'm just addicted to my Hellbringer Warlock, and that's generally what I play.
So let's do another giveaway here, once I'm done giving this person a timeout for being rude.
No!
Oh, yeah, it's okay. I told them not to be rude, and they said I'm just being honest, so now they get a timeout. So this one's for YouTube. The question is, let's see. I'm going to do this in my head really quick. Oh, actually, I don't need to. Okay, so a fighter makes an attack on an orc. The fighter has +6 to their attack. The orc has an AC of 18. What number do they need to roll on the die to hit?
Oh my god, that question.
That's pretty easy. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Make sure people isn't hiding my...
It's okay. It's okay. It's a super D&D.
All right, Demonos was the first one to give the correct answer on YouTube. Good job, Demonos. So please send me an email at ambassadorkael@gmail.com, and we will get you your codes.
Mike, you just literally gave these folks a freaking, like, essay question.
I gave them a word
school.
problem, yeah. There's 2 trains going from Phoenix and Indiana.
Word problems, my favorite.
Yeah. Angie Cat, you can't win twice. Terramac wants to know what their Thaco is. Wrong edition.
Terramac? Well, Terramac can go back to work.
All right. While we're waiting here, we can do another one of these codes. So this one's for
30
Facebook.
seconds left.
All right, so Facebook. Let's see. Misa, you got a good Neverwinter question?
So I'm horrible because I usually just like ask like something super simple. I don't know. Can somebody name the were there 3 factions? I think there's 3 factions in Dragonbone Vale. Who are the three leaders of those? Who are the NPCs that you're talking to?
All right, so name the 3
Vale.
leaders of the 3 factions in Dragonbone Vale. And this is for Facebook again. Thank you for sending me the answers, Misa.
It might be too hard. I don't know. I'm not sure if everybody played every piece of content.
Sweet. I got
have
some
enough tickets
stuff.
to buy. How many tickets did we get?
Not enough.
Oh no! Yeah, we need a lot more to get the other ones. Man, I have so many tickets on my live character. This is the problem. Play dev characters, and I don't have my thousands.
Every time I log
tickets.
onto my live character, I always laugh, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is unfortunate.
All right, let's see.
My live character is like nearly 80k item level warlock, all ready to go, max bolster. My dev character is like sad.
Kiernan Darley, that is not the correct answer. I need somebody on Facebook to give me the right
Did
answer.
I get it
Twitch
wrong?
has it.
I hope I didn't give them the wrong. Okay, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't feel stupid now.
Terry Skeleton, that's the those are the names of the 3 factions, but we need the leaders of those factions.
Oh, so close. Yeah, the famous NPCs.
All right, let me talk to Gaston over here.
Hey, are they all
Neverwinter
companions?
Legends?
Is there one that's not a companion in our game? I think they're all companions, right, Brett?
What the?
Yeah, they are.
About the Neverwinter Legends.
No, all of the 3 leaders of the of those factions are all companions. I just checked.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I wasn't sure, but it is.
I have 3 tickets. And things cost 48 to 320 tickets. I guess I'm gonna play some more Saha ball. But let me check out the rest of the summer event while we're here.
Yeah,
I love the summer.
Responding to some general comments, I scanned Twitch chat real quick. Generally speaking, it is unlikely that we would, make substantial changes to the class to the magnitude of taking things back towards where they were pre-Module 16. That was a pretty massive undertaking, and it's unlikely that we would be able to completely revert classes back the way that classes were prior to Mod 16. That being said, we are obviously engaged with trying to make improvements to the classes and obviously make changes for the better for all of them. And we hope to be able to continue to basically go through the classes, clean up various things that players don't like, and add some more flexibility, playstyle, etc. But massive revamps to the stat system, massive revamps to classes are not generally in the books. It takes a huge amount of effort and time, and it's something that we, as obviously I think players have shown, that it's difficult to get that kind of stuff going. And same thing with the Iron Triangle, Iron Triangle is the sort of DPS healer tank route. That was part of the intentional shift back on Module 16, and it's unlikely that we would go through and try to change that because it requires a fairly substantial rebalance of a lot of content in the game. And for those of you that were here from Module 16, there was obviously a lot of issues just with converting to the Iron Triangle. It took a lot of balance issues. One of my experiences was I logged in to do Temple of the Spider, the old Temple of the Spider, just the random dungeon queue version of it, and it was one of the hardest dungeons I'd ever done because the tuning for it was way off, and we couldn't make it past the second pack of mobs in the dungeon, the very first, I think, Drider that you get to in the original Temple of the Spider, because of how hard they were hitting. And that was just all the result of trying to implement the new systems, having to update a lot of the critters and dungeons throughout the game, etc. And it took a lot of work, and there was a lot of patches that had to go into that first month following Module 16. And in general, we're aiming for more stability, more quality, and less sort of like changes. But those are risky, time-consuming, and like I said, we're trying to avoid getting ourselves in that kind of situation again if we can.
It seems like ages ago that we started this contest, but Rebecca Burrows, congratulations. You were the first person on Facebook to correctly give the answer. So send me an email. Defeat Gormangina.
So yeah, the Hungry Trolls contest is active. If you go over to the Grilling Grounds, if you check a map, you can see where it's at. There's a bunch of trolls invading the Grilling Grounds, and the goal, this is one of the more simple contests.
The Grilling Grounds.
You just got to take out some trolls, and you score points based on taking out trolls, and whoever has the most trolls defeated by the end of the timer wins. And then you get sort of like tiered prizes based on the number of participants and what you take out.
Nice. Well, let's go fight some trolls then.
This is
I also
only
lied. I definitely have
contest.
played the summer event before, because I recognize these hay bales and the troll fight that I'm about to get into.
Yeah.
There they are.
Where are you, trolls? How dare you?
I think they're dead. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, both of our summer and winter festivals have one event where you can actually do some combat. There's the Demons on Ice, and there's the Hungry Trolls here in the summer festival. But it's pretty laid back. It's the trolls aren't particularly threatening. Yeah, they're not particularly threatening. It's more of like a speed run kind of thing, like trying to
how many
trolls take out. Yeah, they're not particularly powerful or challenging.
I dropped the AE and I totally missed.
Well, everything was dead when your AE dropped, so that's probably
that's
why.
what happened. I missed. It came in a little late.
Do we have a question for Twitch chat? Do we have any update on Trial of the Mad Mage coming to trial queue?
Is it not back in actually? Oh, trial queue, the random trial queue. All right. So if you're referring to the random trial queue, the Trial of the Mad Mage was not built baseline with a sort of normal or advanced or basically non-master or non-very challenging difficulty setting. It was sort of built from the get-go, assuming that. We had talked in a number of times about, hey, what could we do for a sort of normal version? Unfortunately, the trial is a very complicated setup, and we've looked at the cost at trying to make a sort of normal version, if you will, of Trial of the Mad Mage or Tower of the Mad Mage, but it's been challenging for us to sort of unwind that to a place where we think it would be happy. We could obviously just reduce the damage in all of the mechanics hugely such that it doesn't do hardly any damage, and we've considered that. And if it really comes down to it, that may be the path we take, but we would like to, much like we do with our other trials, is find a way to reduce the complexity a bit, while making sure some of the mechanics are still very challenging and punishing, and you need to do them without just blanket lowering the damage of everything across the board. But sadly, Trial of the Mad Mage was not built to support different difficulties in the way that all of our later trials were. However, to note, we have looked, and this is perhaps more likely, is that we would like to get Zariel's Challenge into the random trial queue because we have a sort of non-master version of that. There's some small tuning that would need to be done to that to make it more approachable, because when we've had people do it publicly, it still has not had the success rates that we wanted. But we think that the Zariel's Challenge is in a closer state to getting into the trial queue than the Tower of the Mad Mage.
All right. Vaulting Frog, Brett, you've probably seen the long version of this that's out there, but I'm going to cut it down to just the more sapient question at the end, which, not sapient. Not sapient, everyone here is sapient. Relevant, I guess, is the word I was looking for. There's another word, but anyway. Wanted to know, are there any plans to give better incentives for support classes to run endgame combat? And I guess in asking that, do you feel like there needs to be better incentives for support classes to run in-game content?
Well, we hope to offer, interesting and meaningful rewards from the various dungeons. It's sometimes challenging. Obviously, we look at all of our classes and try to look at hey, what do DPS want, what do tank wants, what do healers want. We look at it in terms of roles. We try to make sure that there are interesting tank options, interesting healer options, and interesting DPS options for every module that we do. And we're not always perfect. We try to offer ones that have value or utility, etc. And we try to ensure that there's usually a spread. Same thing with things like insignia bonuses, enchantment types, etc. We try to add more and more options to give players ways of customizing their character in more different ways. And frankly, if we're not hitting the mark, all you can do is just call us out on it and point out areas where we think that items have fell flat. Please offer that feedback to us. We try to do investigations and look at rewards. We feel that with Dragon Slayer in particular, we managed to update some rewards and add some things that were more powerful and attractive. And then with M24, the North Dark Reaches, Menzo Barons, and now the Demon Web Pits, we've continued to add new, say for example, tank items with each one, and some of them have been good, some of them have been okay, but we've talked about a few ways to try to add more unique options to it. That being said, like I said, all we try to do is we try to make sure we try to add desirable and interesting tank and healer options with each one, and if we just feel like, okay, it's not happening, then we apologize, because we're very much trying to make that happen. And like I said, it's the same thing with DPS though. Sometimes players complain that we don't make anything interesting enough when it comes to the DPS end, etc. And we try to do what we can with all of the various roles to ensure that everybody feels like they have some cool, awesome items that they can go after with each module.
And we have a cool little thing. We have the rewards council that we spun up a while back. That we basically all the rewards feature goes through this council where we all work to look through every piece of basically everything that's going to go into the game and try to evaluate and be like, okay, well, I think that it should be a little bit more powerful, and try to make sure we have something for everybody. And so if we ever miss that mark, please post the feedback, because we're always, even if we don't go back and like fix it for, say there's something you didn't like in this module, and say. We might not go back and make the changes immediately for this, but we do take that feedback and go, okay, so what do we do better for the next one? So at the very least, it's constant iteration. It's kind of what we try to do with our itemization system. We want to add new stuff that's interesting for people to play with, and then also still give some of the upgrades of the existing fun stuff that players already like. Obviously, sometimes the new stuff sometimes it doesn't hit perfectly, and then we just work on upgrading them, making them better.
Lily Lovelace, I don't see your comments about the Pally Tank update on YouTube, so go ahead and post them again on Facebook or over on YouTube, wherever you want, and I'll pass them on if I see them. Red Ned Kelly wants to know how successful we feel the 20% damage reduction on tanks is right now, and is that something we consider reworking in the future?
It's something that the fact that tanks generally have sort of a bit of a lower baseline than DPS. It's important to note, though, it's not just that the tanks have a lower sort of inherent damage than the rest of the classes. It's also that DPS players are often wearing DPS gear. Again, I've played at different roles, and typically what we'll see is that if you have an equivalently geared DPS player and an equivalently geared tank player, the delta, the difference between the amount of damage that a DPS player puts out and the tank puts out is probably about 4 to 5 times. So if you are a tank and you put out say 10 million damage, an equivalent geared and skilled DPS player will probably put about 40 million damage. And if we were to increase and change some of the various inline stat bonuses of the damage, it's not going to make up a huge amount of that difference. You might see that go up a bit. I think I do the math. I think it's like 15. You go up from 10 million to only a mere like 15 million or so. It's not going to cause a huge increase in that number. It's not going to put you in the realm of being able to carry a fight by yourself in a group scenario. A lot of it actually does come from the gear, and you can't always afford to wear tons of DPS gear if you're getting punched in the face by a boss. That being said, I do, for example, have a DPS loadout that I run on my tank for when I know that the boss doesn't actually deal a ton of damage, and I use a damage-dealing companion as well too, which can facilitate that, which ups my numbers a bit. But that's what I'm saying. Like the trick for that isn't just that tanks have an inherent damage penalty compared to DPS players, etc. It's just that they're also not geared for it. They don't, like, even healers, for example, can gear for power and critical strike, which allows them to actually output some respectable damage. I've done some test runs, for example, on a paladin healer just running Bane and Divine Shelter and using them like crazy in dungeons, and it can actually put up respectable numbers with Bane and Smite just because I'm already equipped with a lot of Forte, a lot of power, and a lot of critical strike, which are all valuable healing stats. Tanks don't get that because they have to put on defense awareness, and other stats, which contribute nothing to their offensive stats. So they really wind up with much lower offensive stats than other classes. So that being said, we can look at ways to help with that, which would be things like, again, removing some of the penalties they have, since their stat gearing already puts them at such a big disadvantage. But I do want to comment that even if we were to remove it, it's not going to make you do a huge amount more, and that 4x delta between the DPS players and tank players isn't probably going to go anywhere. It's not going to massively change. It would be decreased if we remove some of the penalties. And again, for the sake of usability and the sake of making tanks more desirable play, we have absolutely considered that. It's one of the things we're talking about a bit more, especially as we look more at the Paladin. We recently did update it, like a Paladin feat that just gave their tank spec more damage. It's a class feature that they can equip that just gives them a bunch more damage because they don't have a DPS Paragon, and that was very well received. And even internally, everybody who plays a Paladin in our group, inside the company, loved it. And so we've looked at extending some of those benefits to other tank classes too.
Cool. Bad Splat.
Long-winded answer. Sorry.
No, it was an excellent answer. It was an in-depth answer. That's the important part.
Brett has the longest answers. I think he's probably the wordiest EP I've ever worked with.
And that's what I like. Believe me, I have worked with EPs
who
gave me 2-word answers to questions, and it was a nightmare. I much prefer this.
Yeah. Boiling it down, it's like, yeah, we kind of want to do that, but it's not going to have the effect that you think it will. But we are looking at trying to make it easier for tanks to do solo content.
All right. Bad Splat, the Intel Arc question, I don't know specifically on that. I would suggest posting on the forums so we can follow up, because it's not a question we're going to get answered here on the stream.
Yeah, we're not the super technical folks.
Yeah. Balbier Singh says they haven't played this game since they were. Oh wait, I thought it said 19. It actually says T9. That might be a game term. Okay, I was about to wonder how old this person was about to make me feel, but.
Oh my god.
Tina, maybe module 9? I don't know.
All right. So what are we going up to next? What's this? Summer Celebration 4. Cool.
I've always found this map to be really pretty.
It's very pretty.
It's got a great theme. There's lots of flowers. They did a great job propping it. There's lots of little bits. If you hang around, you can find the competing adventure party from the Cragmire crypts and such. There's a lot of little nice Easter eggs and touches.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we should give away one more of these before we wrap up the stream tonight. So Twitch, since you guys have been the most active as usual, this last one is going to be for you. Let's see. Brett, do you have a Neverwinter question you want to throw out there?
Oh, man. Lots of crazy trivia we could ask. But let me think. What's a fun and silly one? Oh, do I even know the answer? I know which one I want to ask.
You can't ask a question if you don't know the answer to it.
Yeah, that's a good.
I mean, I technically did that with the what is the what's the oh, you got it?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw this one out. This one's to see if there's any more of our dedicated players that have done, since we were talking about Tower of the Mad Mage in the past. What's the name of Hallister's apprentice that assists you in the battle of Tower of the Mad Mage?
You'll have to tell me which one of these is correct, Brett, because I don't know the answer.
Okay. Are we being picky about spelling?
No.
Okay. Was this for YouTube or for?
It's Twitch. But you
Twitch.
just message Mike the answer, and you let him figure it out.
Then I believe that Viperian VIP got it correctly.
That looked right to me as well.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, Viperion. Send me a message, and we'll send you a code. All right. So we're gonna.
Close enough that I know what he's talking about, and that's what it is.
Yeah. It's apparently not Little Linda, though.
No, it is not, sadly, Little Linda.
It should be.
But it is Jasira, and she helps you throughout all of the Undermountain adventures, and then she shows up again in Tower of the Mad Mage and helps shield you from one of Hallister's sort of big nuke attacks. And he says her name during the trial, so if you've gotten to that stage in the trial, then yeah, you've heard that line a lot. Jasira, my dear, you shouldn't stick your nose where it doesn't belong.
Nice. All right. Well, folks, we've been going for about an hour here. I should let these lovely people get back to work, and myself as well. But Brett, and or Misa, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we go? Anything exciting or something you feel like needs clarification on the lovely world of Neverwinter?
I don't have anything too crazy. I just hope everybody's enjoying their time in Neverwinter, enjoying the summer festival. We got some fun stuff coming, going to be available in the store for the rest of the month, and some cool stuff for Labor Day. So hopefully y'all like those offerings. And yeah, we got some cool events coming up too. So I don't have anything special today. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right. What about you, Brett?
This month, we've got still the summer festival wrapping up here in a bit, and with Module 26 still running along, and then later on in September we'll have Hell Pit returning for its annual run, and then obviously in October we have the Masquerade of Liars coming up.
Ooh, very exciting.
We'll also have Timora's Gift running in October as well, and that aligns with some of the stuff that folks were interested in, the questions that people ask often. It lines up with that, so yeah, have fun.
And, the next module, without saying anything else, I'm very
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. End of the year, spoilers, good stuff.
No spoilers.
It's going to be a whole new, no spoilers,
yeah.
New block, lots of crazy new stuff. That'll be before the end of the year, so before our big winter event and before the big holiday breaks and everything, we will have Neverwinter's next big module land, and it's going to be a very different module from the last.
Hope y'all are bored of the Underdark, because it's time to move on.
Yeah, we're going somewhere else, and that's all I'll say. I almost said something that gave it away, but
I almost said something that gave it away too. So
instead, we will.
Not yet. Wait,
not
it's
yet.
only
not
August.
Yet. I want to talk about it so bad, but not yet.
We gotta milk this for at least 2 more months before we.
It's gonna be brutal. I am the queen of spoiling stuff, so I gotta not.
Yeah. All right, so the Outbox Mimic says, bye-bye, thanks for coming.
That is my favorite Mimic.
It's the best. I think I said Outbox instead of Outhouse, but...
Outhouse Mimic.
Yeah, that was unboxed on a recent stream.
I did ask for Outhouse Mimic as an enemy in our game. We'll see if we actually get out.
I suggested it, I made a suggestion to Julia on how it could work, and she said, I need to go do that, so we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Outhouse Mimic. Best Mimic.
Yeah.
You can't even go to the bathroom in peace.
Alright, here we go. Who's playing Neverwinter?
It's time to raid.
Raid.
Let's do the raid again.
I love that song.
I thought I was getting a weird echo, and then I realized I was listening to our stream while trying to find this stream to raid. I'm gonna go with this person. Oh.
I don't know. Players have people have been saying that there's issues with the Flax Flowers. Not seeing it. Managing to complete the Flax Flowers.
Yeah, I completed that just fine.
Yeah, there might be some specific instances they're having issues. We'll look if we need to do a restart. But try changing instances if you're seeing some issues. We have seen sometimes with our event instances that sometimes if they run for a really long time, some bugs might break out. If that's the case, then we'll do some resets. But
yeah, we can
so far, managing to do all my Flax Flowers just fine.
All right, I found somebody. They have a camera, which is sort of a requirement. Also, they're up super late. All right, folks, we are going to do the raid, and we are going to turn all this off. So thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope you had fun. We did. And bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
We always have
bye. Bye-bye.
I'll do a formal EP stream here at some point before the end of the year, too. So we'll get at least one more in before probably the next module launches.
Oh, the fancy one. Where
maybe we'll use that as a chance to spoil the next module. Ooh.
I love announcing things on stream. All right. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.
I keep getting told that I get cut off if I hit the end button too early, so we're gonna say bye for a little while longer.
Bye. Oh my god, my voice is